Along with Coach Sean coming to you with BAMA football on YouTube. This is just in. Reports are out everywhere. I'm sure you've seen it, but Ryan Grubb is leaving the University of Alabama and going to be the offensive coordinator at the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL. Coach, I mean, your initial reaction to Coach, I mean, he's never really the offensive coordinator here. I mean, the timing's weird. I mean, there's a lot of areas to dive into. What does it mean? What's your first initial reaction to Ryan Grubb, I guess leaving Alabama, if we even want to say that, staying in Seattle with the Seahawks?
My first initial reaction is this is not shocking. I tried to coax myself into believe he wasn't leaving after that statement he made. But now that I really let it soak in and I think about it, I listened to Ryan Williams talk about the offense, and not one time did he make reference to Coach Grubb. Not one time, right? All he talked about was Coach KD, Coach KD, Coach KD. I've never seen Coach Grubb entrench himself in BAMA gear on his social media. I've never seen him latch on to the offensive coordinator position like the other coaches did. So in essence, in hindsight, this is not shocking. But at the same time, you have a lot of great offensive coordinators that can run this same scheme. This manipulation of safeties come from Coach KD. Not taking nothing from Coach Grubb, but this is Coach Kalen DeBoer's offense, right? And I'm not worried about it at all.
Here with Coach Sean, both of BAMA football on YouTube. Breaking news as Ryan Grubb is leaving to Seattle to coach the offensive. He's been the offensive coordinator with the Seattle Seahawks, breaking it all down as it comes in. It's all fluid. A lot of reports out there that, and we talked about this. I mean, and he said, he straight up, Coach, I want to get your take on this. He straight up went to the Red Elephants Club and said, I am the offensive coordinator. Do you think a lot of this was about timing, about signing day, about, making sure Ryan Williams was signed, sealed, and delivered? I mean, we were talking about it. We rarely saw pictures of him on the recruiting trail. He never updated stuff on social media. Every other coach did. I can put stuff together. So can you. So can everybody. Nobody wanted to believe this. And even my interview tonight with Greg Bell, we talked about it. He's like, yeah, it's still in play. I mean, what do you think? In terms of like the timing of it, because it seems kind of odd. You got signing day, and then a couple days later, you're headed out when everybody signed, sealed, and delivered.
For me, it sounds crazy, but I really think that the top recruits, especially the offensive recruits, knew about this. I really do. I know, because again, I never heard Ryan reference this guy. Not one time. In every interview that Ryan has done since he recommitted to BAMA, all he talks about is Coach KD. I have not heard Ryan say this man's name one time. So that leads me to believe that maybe Ryan knew that he was potentially taking this job. And when he gave that interview to the Red Elephants Club, if I know the NFL, they probably came back with a counteroffer. Like literally today, they probably came back with a counteroffer and probably made him an offer that he couldn't refuse. Sometimes it happens like that. You got your mind set up, tunnel vision. These guys will come back and make a crazy offer. And next thing you know, you pulling the Nick Saban, right? You know what I mean? It happens. I'm not worried about it at all, though. I mean, because Ryan really never latched on to the job. I mean, he was here, but he wasn't here. He was our offensive coordinator, but he really wasn't our offensive coordinator. It's several good coordinators out there that can run this same scheme. It's several guys who ran this scheme still with Coach DeBoer, and I'm not worried at all. Shout out to Coach Ryan Grubb. Just don't take no more coaches.
So, yeah, and that was the thing. As there's been some reports that, with Grubb leaving to the Seattle Seahawks, he could take Jamarcus Shepard. He could take a Scott Huff, which I think would be blows considering that, we're about to go into spring football. You're trying to add all the components. But I think you do bring up a really good point. Is Coach Kalen DeBoer is an offensive-minded coach. And I'm curious to see for the high school football coaches that are coming to the clinic, by the way, April 5th and 6th here in Tuscaloosa, to kind of get an understanding of that philosophy. Now, I think moving forward, what do you think Alabama does from the offensive coordinator position? Now, thank goodness, Bill O'Brien is with Boston College, and that ship's obviously sailed. But what does Alabama do in terms of the OC spot? What do you think they do, Coach?
I think it's several guys that you go after. I think it's several guys right here in college that you give an opportunity to. Ty spoke on one this morning, the young man from UNLV, outstanding offensive coordinator, right? Outstanding. I think you give him an opportunity, talk to him, speak to him. He runs a very similar scheme. very similar scheme. The offensive coordinator at Oregon. I mean, it's several guys that would fit the scheme that Coach Caleb DeBoer runs. There's several guys that manipulate safeties in that same type of aura. Coach KD will lay the blueprint, of course. My biggest thing is I just hope Scott Huff or Jamarcus Shepard doesn't leave. Ryan Grubb, great coach, but an offensive coordinator can be replaced. Trust me, it can be replaced. No scheme has been put in yet. The kids are, so we're fine. We're fine. Let's just pray nobody else leaves.
I just think of it from the quarterback development standpoint, because from what I understand, he was like a quarterback whisperer, so to speak. And I think the fact that, look at Jalen Milroe, for example, right? He had Bill O'Brien, who didn't want to be, he wanted him to switch positions. Then you had Tommy Rees come in, didn't see a lot of development there. Then you have Ryan Grubb in for a short time, and now you have another guy coming in. I think it just kind of puts the quarterbacks, sets them back a little bit. I have to ask you this, Coach, in closing this short video that we're doing. We're going to be here live for just a few more minutes. Is the NFL a better spot to be in right now than college football? Because it seems like the rails are completely off in college football. Do you think that had something to do with that as well?
I do. I have friends who coach in the NFL right now. I do. They would not come to college. They've had opportunities to come to college. What's going on in college right now is having a direct effect. I mean, look no further than what happened today with Chip Kelly. I mean, you step down from a head coaching job to be a coordinator because the school's not going to support you in your NIL. UCLA is not I spoke about this on my segment. UCLA is a basketball school. They're not going to give you the support you need to be successful in football. They're only going to give you a little something, right? And that's just not enough to be successful. So to answer your question, yes, I think that directly has an effect on this, but I would tell all the Bama fans this. Michael Penix was developed at Indiana by Coach Caleb DeBoer. What you're seeing in Washington is a product of what Coach Caleb DeBoer developed when he was the offensive coordinator and Coach Womack was the defensive coordinator at Indiana. So you're seeing the finished product that he developed. No disrespect to Ryan Grubbs. So as long as we got Coach KD, we'll be fine. But yes, Kyle, it is a definite effect on what's going on in college football today.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, kind of just the rules and parameters. And actually, after we talked and spoke with Greg Bell, he mentioned that, on the backside. And I was kind of curious the fact that if they would give Ryan Grubb an opportunity, considering he has never coached in the NFL, really only been in the big conferences with 2 seasons, right? At Washington and now here at Alabama, which would be a big step. We don't know what is going to happen going forward, but we know that it is impactful in terms of how it affects the Alabama Crimson Tide having to look for another offensive coordinator in February. Where will they go? We're going to have a hot list coming up right soon on Bama Football on YouTube in terms of who will be the next offensive coordinator here under Coach Caleb DeBoer, who just got here, a couple weeks ago, almost, I guess, nearly a month. And now you are looking for your new offensive coordinator here at Bama Football. And we will definitely keep you posted. We're going to bring in Ty Hayes from Round the Table Sports. Ty, you ready to come on in? All right, we got Ty. I'm going to close on out and get this video up, and then I might pop back in and we might have Smook. But Ty, come on board.
How's it going, guys? Coach, how you doing?
What's up, Ty, my brother?